Good morning, math friends, and we are on day 2 of lesson 5. Watch the video for Eureka. If you didn't yesterday, that would be important. You have an application problem that you're going to be doing today. Owen has 90 straws to create pentagons. So 90 straws, and he's going to be creating pentagons. He created a set of 5 pentagons. When he noticed a number pattern, how many more shapes will he add to his pattern? So that's one problem that you're going to need to solve using pentagons. You're looking for a number pattern, and then I need a sentence because you are going to do read, draw, and write along with I started cubes for you. And let's see if you can solve that that application problem. Hope you had a lot of fun yesterday making your little cubes. I know we had a lot of fun in class making our little cubes with our faces and our edges and our vertices. So I hope that you had a good time with that too, and hopefully you still have this with you because you will need it for today's lesson. All right, so let's go ahead and flip the page. Of course, you need to write your statement there about how many shapes can be made using the rest of the 90 straws. All right, so now you're going to need to have your cube that you made yesterday so that you can answer these questions. So you're going to answer question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and actually you're going to go down to number 5. And then I am going to tell you that on number 6, we're going to change things just a tiny bit. And I'm going to help you learn how to draw a cube. You're supposed to draw 6 cubes. I'm going to let you experiment until you feel comfortable with with the cubes till you end up with a suitable cube. And I'll be giving you whoops, sorry, I got to be down here, sorry. So basically you are going to draw some cubes, but this space is way too small. You're going to need to get yourself a piece of regular paper to be able to draw these cubes, and I will be giving you a step-by-step on how to do that in just a minute. As soon as I get finished going through all of this, I'm going to turn the page here. You can try number 7. Number 7 I thought was, you can give it a try and see if you can turn these into 3-dimensional shapes. And so this one you can try if you want. Try it. I struggled with it just a little bit. I think I like my method better. And then number 8, Derek looked at the cube below and he said that it had 3 faces. Explain why Derek is incorrect. And it would be very helpful for you to use the cube that you made yesterday to help figure out why Derek is wrong in saying that it only has 3 faces. So you're going to write a statement about that. Now, as far as your exit ticket is concerned, that you will also need to do, you're supposed to draw 3 cubes, and you will have practiced by this point. This is a nice big space for you to be able to draw 3 cubes. And you're going to put a star next to the one that you think is the best, and we will be using that as your exit ticket. So the assignment today is really rather short compared to what we did yesterday. At least for us, we took a long time to get these made. And now what I'd like to do is I'm going to go back to number 6 here and show you the steps that you'll need to take to practice drawing a cube. You will need to have a ruler that is marked with inches because that will make it much easier for you to be able to do that. So here we go with, I'm going to help you with number 6, and it will also help you with your exit ticket. So I just have a blank piece of paper, and right in the middle I'm going to start by marking with my pencil. I gotta make sure that you guys can see what the heck I'm doing here. Okay, here we go. Oh man, sometimes that just does not come in as nice as I would like it to. There we go. So with the inch side of your ruler, make sure that you're on the inch side of your ruler and not the centimeter side. Making sure that you're also looking at where the inches start at 0 and go to 4. So about in the middle of my paper, I am going to make I'm going to make 2 dots. So I'm making a dot at 0, and I'm making a dot at 4. Then I'm going to go halfway in between and make a dot at 2. Okay, so I'm making a dot at 2. From there, I am going to each of my end dots, and I want to keep this one in mind as I now make another dot up from this one at 2.5, trying to keep that as straight as I can. So a dot at 2.5 on that side, and then I also want to make another dot that is, let's see, wait a second, did I do that right? Nope, I didn't do that right. Hang on just a second. Just had to double check myself. So from the center dot right here, so you started off with 4 inches, and then you divided that in half. From that center dot, you're going to try and go straight up 1.5 inches. Well, I was pretty close on that. I'm going to go from the center dot, and I want to go up 1.5 inches up to the top and make another dot. Going back to that center dot and coming down as straight as I can, again 1.5 inches. Now, I'm going to erase the center dot because I don't need that anymore. Oops, it's not erasing very good. Then I am going to connect with my straight edge all of those dots so that I am making a square. Because remember, the face of a cube is in the shape of a square. So I'm going to connect those like so. Trying to keep things as straight as I can using the dots. There, I have myself a square. Now the next thing that you need to do, you're going to think about this like a tabletop. And I'm going to come down from this side. I'm going to come down 2.5 inches. So from here down 2.5 inches. I'm going to come to the center and come down 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches, and then from this one over here, I'm also going to come down 2.5 inches. There we go. So now I kind of look like a table. Now after that, I want to connect the bottom half of my cube with my ruler, trying to get from point to point and from point to point. Trying to keep my line as straight as possible. Oops, and I'm going to erase any little extra lines that I have, finish in connecting things that I didn't quite get all the way connected, and bingo, there I have my 3-dimensional cube. Now your job is to practice drawing as many as you want until you get the very best ones possible. Those very best ones possible, once you feel comfortable with drawing those, you can go ahead and on your exit ticket, you can, now that you've practiced how to make a cube, you're going to make 3 cubes. If you want to, you're going to make 3 cubes on this page. I don't know if you have enough room on this page to do 3 cubes. You might only have enough room to do 1 really good one. Or if you want to change the size, you can. But if you would even send us 1 really beautifully done cube on this page, I'm going to say that you only need to draw 1, but that would be after you've practiced. So you've practiced, you've done some practice cubes, and by the time you feel comfortable with making your very best cube, don't worry about these spaces. They are too small. They are too small. Just go ahead and make your exit ticket cube right here in this space. You just need to have 1 really good one after you've practiced. All right, if you need to, you can always rewind the video and listen to my explanation on how to do that again so that you know exactly what you are doing. And with that, I'm going to tell you to pause the video for just a minute. You are going to go through and do the things that I've asked you to do, and then you're going to send us your exit ticket. So go ahead, pause the video, and practice finishing up Lesson 5, Day 2. Please remember that you are going to have your cube that you made yesterday so that you can answer questions. And I'm going to leave it at that. You have a great day. Well, I'm not leaving you yet. Pause the video and I'll be back with you in just a minute. Hey, are you back? Alrighty, let's take a look at how you did on the application problem. I figured out that I was skip counting 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and I wanted to make sure that I got up to 90 straws because that's how many straws I was using to make pentagons. And since pentagons have 5 sides, you had to remember that, they have 5 sides, you can easily figure out how many more he would have to make just by counting by 5s. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 is how many straws he'd used up to this point. 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90 straws. And how many more did that make? Well, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So he could make 13 more, 13 more shapes can be made using the rest of the 90 straws. So if you said 13 more shapes, and maybe you even drew those shapes, I don't know. But if you came up with 13 more shapes, you should be incredibly proud of yourself, and congratulations. All right. So now let's take a look at what we found over here. Circle the shape that could be the face of a cube. Well, yesterday we already determined that the face of a cube was a square. Hopefully you remember that from yesterday. What is the most precise name of the shape that you circled? Well, it's a square. If you count the faces, there are 6. If you count the edges, there are 12. This was actually our exit ticket from yesterday. And how many corners did the cube have? It had 8. Now you'll remember on this part, I wanted you to practice drawing your 3-dimensional cube until you felt really comfortable with that. You might have drawn 10, you might have drawn 3. I think that's kind of up to you to decide how many of those you were going to draw for practice, because you definitely were going to need that for your exit ticket. And I don't know, this one on number 7, I kind of struggled a little bit with that. Anyway, I finished drawing this one, and I don't know, I just didn't have time to do those. So Derek looked at the cube, and he said that it only had 3 faces. It looks like Miss Star did not finish this one, but the reason he is incorrect, Derek was incorrect. Derek was incorrect because there are 3 other faces that don't show on this 2-dimensional model of a cube. Yeah, because when you're looking at a cube that's been drawn 2-dimensionally, you don't see those parts that are in the back. I could draw those in. I'm not really good at doing that. Whoops, here we go. Draw that down like that. You could actually dot those in to see that there are 3 other faces on the opposite side of that, because you don't see them. If you're holding up a 3-dimensional cube that you can actually hold in your hand, you can physically count those faces. So Derek is incorrect because there are 3 other faces that don't show on a 2-dimensional model of a cube. All right, and then with that, hopefully you've practiced and you are remembering that you're only going to send me 1 perfectly drawn or your very best cube for your exit ticket today. And with that, my friends, I'm going to tell you to have a wonderful day of learning.